Good morning and Happy New Year. So today's sermon is called Taking a Leap of Faith. And I describe it as this: it takes courage to leave the brokenness behind, to risk being open-hearted and minded, welcoming and optimistic, to believe that something good, something beautiful will come, and that the good and the beautiful might even come from us. Let's welcome the new year with new vision. So before I speak the opening words, I'm going to ring this bell that I found under here this morning and fixed by attaching a part of it to a lower part. This is a bell from Arcasante in Arizona. Let's ring in the new year. Before we light our chalice, these words from Jeff Brown, author of several books. This one, I believe, quote, is from Articulations. It's not about getting to the top of the mountain. It's not about accessing your higher power. It's not about transcendence. It's not about rising above the human condition. What it is actually about is getting to the depths of your being, your truest power, your feet planted on Mother Earth, your humanness. Only from here can we know presence. Only from here can we heal and transform our species. There is no time left for disassociation and denial. No time left for self-avoidance that masquerades as awakening. If we don't get here soon, we are not going to make it. It is time for the great arrival, not from the Pleiadians, not from the star people, from the humans, from us, right here, right now. We don't need to rise, we need to deepen. We need to return to our bodies and heal this bloodied species. Now we light our chalice. If you would read from the program, say these words with me now. We light our flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In the search for truth, may we be just. In the search for justice, may we be loving. And in loving, may we find peace. We have a song for gathering. It is The Rose by Amanda McBroom, which was originally sung by Bette Midler. And hopefully we'll be able to sing it together. Martha's going to play an introduction and then we'll begin. Martha, if there's some way you could nod to me to let me know when we're supposed to begin, I will start singing so we all can sing together, okay? Some say love is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger and endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes a chance. It's the one who won't be taking, who cannot seem to give, and the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. Just remember, in the winter, far beneath the bitter snows, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose. Thank you, that was lovely. We'll start up here with a meditation. It has been said we are spiritual beings having a human experience rather than human beings having a spiritual one. Within this context, breathe in the knowledge of the brokenness of the world. I invite you to close your eyes and focus on your heart. Let that knowledge mingle and swirl around our hearts in an atmosphere of love. Breathe in injustice. Mingle, swirl, transmute. Breathe out peace. Breathe in the pain. Mingle, swirl, transmute. And breathe out peace. Breathe in the cruelty. Mingle, swirl, transmute. Breathe out peace. Breathe in the grief. Mingle, swirl, transmute. Breathe out peace. Breathe in the continuum of hurt and healing, life and death. Mingle, swirl, transmute. Breathe out peace. Breathe in love. Mingle, swirl, transmute. Breathe out peace. In spirit, remember, all remains whole. Nothing is broken or lost or defiled. Breathe in peace. Mingle, swirl, transmute. Breathe out love. Today's sermon, once again, is taking a leap of faith. You may open your eyes. It's always better to open your eyes before you take a leap of faith. In order to take a leap of faith, we must have faith in something that will meet us halfway. If we just do our part, if we decide to be all in on whatever direction we choose, or let our hearts choose. Decades ago, I attended a workshop on human potential in the Texas desert. As part of this workshop, we were going skydiving in tandem, meaning we didn't have to learn much other than keeping our mouths shut during the free fall. because we were each to be strapped to a skydiving instructor. The instructor would make sure the parachute released at the right time. We just had to trust. As I recall, we were flown individually with our instructor in a small high-wing Cessna 182 with no door to an elevation of 10,000 feet. Yes, I said no door. This fact did not scare me. I had many times flown in a small plane. Both of my parents were licensed pilots of Cessnas. I had never been in one without a door, but no matter. I had never jumped out of one either. I was, however, determined. I had made the decision to do this. I was all in. I was hooked to my instructor where not a piece of paper could be slipped between us, and a meter was strapped to my chest. I was in front, he behind me. We wore helmets and a white zip-up suit. We looked like astronauts in running shoes. The plan was after free falling for 2,000 feet, we were to release the parachute at 8,000 feet. I could give the signal if I was paying attention to the meter. Just before jumping, my instructor asked me over the roar of the engine if I wanted to do a backflip or just jump out laterally. The latter would prolong our feeling of free fall, the first shorten it. Either way, when we jumped, we were to wave at the plane as it flew away. I chose a backflip. I was only going to do this once, and it sounded like fun. We gingerly reached through the open door of the plane, flying at 10,000 feet, placed our hands on the wing support and our feet on the small sandpaper-covered step. 1, 2, 3, jump. We did the backflip, and when we came right side up again, I had the presence of mind to wave, as requested, to the perfectly good airplane I now saw flying away from us, and I thought, what the hell did I just do? And then, recognizing this irrevocable action I had just taken, my next thought was, well, if I'm going to die, at least I'm going to enjoy the view. How many times do we begin to take a leap of faith only to allow our fears to change our minds mid-leap? How many times do we intend to take a leap of faith only to stop dead in our tracks and refuse to go any further, potentially hurting ourselves and others? And how many times have we been lucky or wise enough to have one with more knowledge and experience at our side to guide us when we leap? One to make sure we land on our feet running rather than landing on our faces, maybe not dead, but perhaps wishing we were. Yes, my instructor told me to hit the ground running. If we didn't, we may fall and get hurt. As we prepare to or contemplate taking a leap of faith into 2024, a not entirely post-pandemic world, a world more at war, it seems, than at peace, a world unpredictably changing and transforming in physical and social forms, we have significant choices before us. 1, are we all in? No looking back except to wave goodbye. 2, are we determined to enjoy the view? 3, do we have someone we trust that has our back? 4, will we commit to hit the ground running? And 5, will we do our best and not self-sabotage, choosing to move forward through our fears instead? I am not saying this leap of faith thing is easy or comfortable. Far from it. After my instructor released the parachute, the immediate deceleration felt as though we were thrust upwards in the sky. What followed was a nauseating limbo of hot Texas air currents wafting us up and down and sideways and up and down. I felt motion sickness coming on, and we were not yet close to the ground. Have you ever leapt into something propelled forward by adrenaline or enthusiasm without a moment to think about what you are doing or what you have done until a moment of calm, and then reflecting on it? Unsettling, isn't it? It is often in these moments that we bail, call it quits, get cold feet, run in the opposite direction, back to our comfort zone, away from growth, away from the new, anywhere but the new, even if the old was painful, at least it was familiar. To achieve this, we may get nauseous, pass out, run away, create a disturbance to justify fleeing, get angry, make accusations, play the victim, give up, dive into addictive behavior, or get really, really ill, or some other self-harm preventing us from growth, from intimacy, from facing our fears. How do you deal with your avoidance? Do you give into it or challenge it? And exactly when and where and how does it rise up? I guess in that moment of motion sickness, I challenged it. I was not going to get sick while falling from the sky if I could help it. And somehow I did manage to keep it together. The last thing I wanted to do to the man that just saved my life, he did, after all, pull the cord on the parachute, was to get sick all over him. You know, he was there and travel up, right? In retrospect, maybe opting for exiting the plane in a backflip was not the best choice for this woman who has always had a tendency for motion sickness. But there was no undoing it, no wishing it away. Instead of the mixed up feeling in my belly, I focused on the horizon, which was steady. We eventually landed on our feet amidst a cheering crowd, and we both began to run. How this was even possible as we were still strapped together, I do not recall. I only recall this. We jumped out of an airplane at 10,000 feet. My instructor released the parachute at 8,000 feet with no help from me, and we landed on our feet and did not fall because we hit the ground running. As it turns out, focusing on where you intend to go rather than where you find yourself in the process of getting there is key to successful leaps of faith. In this new year, are we going to bravely put our best foot forward to live our best life with a mind and heart full of faith that the divine essence, God, Goddess, the universe, the Great Spirit, the angels, our ancestors, our higher self will be there to support us? Or will we just fearfully dip in a toe testing the waters, let cynicism take over us, and convince ourselves again that we are not enough, that the time is not right, that our moment of opportunity has passed? Are we going to let go of the old baggage, damage, limiting beliefs, or will we bring all that with us while still expecting, hoping for something better? And if so, why? Really? Why? Why would we do that to ourselves, to others, to the world that right now needs all of us to stand up and be our best? I, unfortunately, know why. Because I have done the avoidance thing in my life ad nauseum. Because real change, also known as growth, is scary. It takes work, consistent effort, commitment, and a willingness to let go of that which is comfortable, also known as familiar. Sure, we may complain about our present circumstances, pretending to be a victim, the ultimate comfort zone. But the truth of the matter is we are choosing it. So we don't have to change, grow, be our best. The unacknowledged fear is, what if our best isn't really that great? I say, who cares? There's nothing worse than mediocre effort and a lack of clear intention. It is far easier to blame others and circumstances than it is to brave truth and take responsibility for our lives in any context. Sometimes the truths we deny are the inherent gifts we embody, the power we do have, the knowledge and the wisdom we do have, the unacknowledged fact that we do have value, that we do matter, that the world needs our voice and presence at the table of co-creation. Our lives and our experiences have significance. We are not who we were told we were. We are so much more. It takes effort to hide our light. No wonder we are tired. It takes effort to obsessively focus on that which matters not at the cost of that which does. Because then we don't have to transmute our very identity from our current setting, whether that is better than or less than, more fortunate or less fortunate than others, more able or less able than others, from confused to embrace a new setting, present, open, alive, clear, as in our best selves, offering the best we have to offer in the present moment, in time, with an open heart. That's living. That's how we see the world with new eyes, when we look for the love and appreciate. When we see ourselves and our world through the heart and with full acceptance. Without nurturing an argument with reality, as Byron Katie so aptly put it, then we can begin to see the world through the eyes of spirit, where nothing is broken, all is evolving, transforming, and transmuting. Pain turns to peace. That which is hidden is revealed, and that which is perceived as less than can, with a shift in perception paired with action, turn into more than we could ever have imagined, in a good way. Sometimes all it takes to completely shift the trajectory of our lives, thus all lives we touch, is 30 seconds of courage. That's it. 30 seconds. We all have 30 seconds of courage left in us right here, right now. I am certain of it. By simply taking that first step forward with the faith that the divine essence that inspired you will meet you halfway. Even if we all are halfway to hell in a handbasket, it is still worth taking that step to do our part now. That step we thought we couldn't take. That leap of faith into the unknown and unknowable. It is so much easier to be certain, even of our own demise, isn't it? Because if it's all hopeless, why try? That's fear talking. That's avoidance. That's not us being our best. By tuning into our hearts, getting out of our heads, our fears, whatever size leap we choose into this new year, we will be met halfway. And the payoff is not just success, but self-respect. Let's welcome the new year by deepening our connection to our hearts, our bodies, our planet, our community. And let's be determined to enjoy the view. Happy New Year, folks. You've earned it. Ring the bell again. To the new year. Thank you.
Before I ask Jeanne for closing words, I want to take a moment to thank our members and friends for their continued financial support of the congregation. Your willingness to share of your resources with the congregation is so important to our ability to continue our mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Closing words. This from Donna Ashworth. She is a writer out of Scotland. It's called This Rock. We exist on a 4.5 billion year old rock floating in an unfathomable, even impossible to say that word, expanse of nothingness. You and I. We are magnetically held in place by an invisible force, along with 8 billion other people. Every single thing that exists on this rock is without a doubt a work of art, so intricately crafted we will never truly discover the scope of wonder within. We are made of the same elements as everything that naturally surrounds us, just shaken up differently and oh, so magnificently. Look at us, my friends. We are breathtaking. Our breath alone is breathtaking. Everything you are doing right now, listening, feeling, understanding, is fascinatingly complex. And yet you spend your days worrying about things that are of no significance at all, big picture. Walk around your world today with wonder in your eyes and really see what you are living. Every aspect of this life is nothing short of astonishing. And this rock we are clinging to with ease is astounding. Eyes open, reach out, breathe deep, take it all in. This rock, our home, will know each of us for only a heartbeat in its timeline. Leave only love. Live with only gratitude. Look with only wonder. From her writing called Wild Hope. Oh, he's keeping me on program. Thank you. All right. So here we are. We're going to do our extinguishing of the chalice. And if you would read along with me, in our program, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you, Marla. That was so lovely. So lastly, the benediction, which has come to be known as the Lord's Prayer, as translated from the Peshitta, the Syriac Aramaic version of Matthew 6:9 through 13, and Luke 11:2 through 4 by Neil Douglas Klotz. There is a false version of this circulating on Facebook, but this one I went to the source of the author to find it. It goes like this. Pay attention, it's interesting. Birther, father, mother of the cosmos, You create all that moves in light. Peace, sacred unity. Focus your light within us. Make it useful as the rays of a beacon show the way. Create your reign of unity now through our fiery hearts and willing hands. Your one desire then acts with ours, as in all light, so in all forms. Grant what we need each day in bread and insight, substance for the call of a growing life. Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' guilt. Don't let us enter forgetfulness, but free us from unripeness. From you is born all ruling will, the power and the life to do, the song that beautifies all. From age to age it renews. Truly, power to these statements, may they be the source from which all my actions grow, sealed in trust and faith. Amen. Hallelujah. We made it this far. That is no small task. And I want to, though I've said before that sometimes even my best is not good enough, I'm going to counter those words and say that your best and my best is always good enough. Do your best. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Please join us for a conversation and coffee in the pool room.